Now on his way. Load up bowl and all that shit. All that good stuff on here today. Get a little bowl loaded up. Get a little bit of the party going. I guess I kind of have fun intentionally preemptively pre-gamed because my boy fucking flaked on Mike. Ho. My boy Venom, dude. One of my mods. And what's even more annoying about that is that he was like talking to me not even like 2 minutes before I started my Instagram live so we could chat. And then he just doesn't show up for 15 minutes. I gave it a time frame. It's like, if he doesn't show up, because after like 5 minutes, I'm like, motherfucker, what? You should be here by now. I was like, fuck it. I'm just straight up going to, like, give him a 10-minute mark, like, which would be the 15-minute, for the stream, and be like, if he ain't here, then fuck it. I'd say the motherfucker flaked. He is now officially, he is Dawn flaked on my ass. I'm not really like, salty, out there in the 7 seas, but I am a little like, I got a little garnish of salt where I'm just like, bruh. You were like right there, and then somehow you blew it! It's whatever, honestly. I mean, I'll just assume that, the next time, we try to do that, he's going to probably actually be pointing it in there. What made me realize is that, maybe it was Instagram being stupid, on his ass, but also he had coffee on my coffee break. He was already gypped up on caffeine, when I was talking with him and being high. So he crashed. That's what happened. He straight up crashed and fucking passed out. So all in all, I don't even think it would have been like a long stream anyway. And it's like, you jerk. That's what I feel about it. It's just like, jerk. It's like you fucking maybe use my time in an insufficient way. But that's whatever. I mean, I'm not like gonna be like mad at him. I'm just gonna troll him with it, to be honest. I'm just gonna be like, you son of a bitch. You have abandoned me. You have abandoned me to the gods of the algorithm to be sacrificed on their altar. It's like, I'm just gonna troll him. You have left me to be sacrificed upon the altar of the algorithm gods. Now I got this ready to go. Load it up. And all that full shit. There we go. Sweet. Now let's get this bad boy smoked up. God damn it. It's a little fucking clogged. Boo. Tiniest fucking little bowl. Tiniest little fucking thing, I swear to God. Boo. See, this is more frustrating than fucking, getting flaked on. I still can't get over that my boy was, like, literally talking to me, like, a couple minutes prior to me doing, like, a little Insta Live so we can, like, do a little chat. And he just straight up, like, as soon as I start that, just wasn't there for, like, 15 fucking minutes. In fact, I know he probably passed out and crashed. I'm just like, you fucking bastard. It's like you were literally here talking to me not even minutes before I started that, and then you're just like, no. It's like, God damn it, what bastard. He's definitely getting a booty lashing, when I visit him. Because that's some bow. That's why I call some bow, son. Nice. Ooh, nice. Delicious. A little bit of bud and some burr after work is a very tasty thing indeed. Bud and burr after work is a tasty, fun, and nice decompression indeed. I tell you what. And getting these little after work stretches out. That's always nice too. Also, I'm not even gonna lie, I'll laugh if somehow Venom pops in here within the first hour of this and is like, bruh, why didn't you wait for me, bro? And I was just like, dude, it's like I ain't the one who I hope he understands the title stream if he actually does pop in somehow or whatever the fuck, because it's just like, bro, it's definitely a bro move, if I've definitely have had one recently. One thing I am just ready to be done with, though, is my fucking nose right now, dude. Fucking nose. For at least a week now, this has been a serious fucking issue. For a while, I thought it was some allergies, but I'm thinking I just had a mild cold the entire time. Because now the last 2 days, it pretty much all settle up in the lungs now. Now I got some lung butters in cup now. I think most of it's gone now, but every now and then I'm just fuck. It's can this shit get out of me already? Because I definitely feel fine now outside of just this fucking constant nasally ass no shit, dude. Luckily, because I was a little nervous about maybe having to coof, I did a little test and it was negative, so I know it wasn't that. But all things considered, so I was either thinking allergies or cold, and now I'm kind of recovering from what now seems like what it was a cold. I'm just fuck. Because, man, what's also even more annoying is that, a lot of, cove symptoms are also, similar to, flu-like and cold-like symptoms. So it's always just, a gamble whether it's, is this a cold? Is this not another... It's just fucking ridiculous. What's even more dumb is that I was, going to schedule up, update my vaxes and shit, and then, pretty much before, that was going to go down, this happens. So it just proves the necessity that, hey, staying up to date with your vaccines and shit's a good thing. I mean, because, honestly, all in all, if I wasn't doing any of that, I'd probably be really fucking sick. Because there are times where I have straight up just gotten sick to the point I just, am fucking out and just done. Where I can't even get out of bed to go, get up and shit. Unless I'm puking or shit my guts out, so it's I mean, it's just one, there's times where, I definitely will get fucking hit with some shit, but when it comes to things like a flu or a cold, it's always been very mild with me. When it comes to viruses and shit, never been severely hit with one. It might linger on for a while at worst, but I never really get the severe I'm in bed, but kind of thing. I'll admit though, the last couple days, coughing all this lung butter out though, has made my lungs and diaphragm sore. My body's still kind of, it's that's I guess another thing. It's especially right, well, I guess I can't really see right now because I'm charging the phone a little bit, so it's being stupid. But all right up in here and diaphragm, it's a little sore. Cause ugh, got your lung butter, so you get it out. I get it out, but it's just oof. Worked out some muscles there. But at least I'm thinking, it shouldn't be really too much of a big deal, whatever it was, because I kind of have a feeling that tomorrow I'll definitely feel, most of it will just wear off and just be gone. Which will be nice, at least. I also kind of love how like YouTube's like view count thing is like so schizo because it's literally been jumping around from like 0 to 3 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 3. It just to 0 to 2 to 3 to 0. Like it literally is so schizo right now. It's been doing that the like past 3 minutes. I never trust the fucking view count honestly because of shit like that. You know, because like I mean, I get obviously supposed to kind of. I think it like updates every certain amount of time or something like that. Like I think maybe like every minute or every 30 seconds or something. I don't know what like the update time is, but you know, like it's I never completely understood, but I just know that it updates after a certain period. It just gives you a set number, and then after a certain period, it updates it. You know, after like 30 seconds, from what I could kind of tell. It's like between 15 to 30 seconds, somewhere around there, I think. But it always like, you know, is never completely accurate because there are also a lot of times where it'll just stay stuck on a number and just stay there for like a long time until you like, you know, do something with the screen or like the little HUD that you got and shit. You know, it's like, it's really not exactly the most accurate fucking thing. It is ridiculous. I mean, I get that it can't be like the most accurate fucking thing in the world, but it's like still. It should be pretty easy to like update numbers and stuff, especially for like more smaller, obscure kind of things. Doggo. Why do you always lock yourself in that laundry room, man? You don't even want to leave. I do have a lot of treats and food for him, though. Got some meats and shit. But I'm not going to give it to him quite yet. I'm going to wait a little bit. He doesn't need it right now. He doesn't need it at this moment. Oh, you know what? Here. Actually, I forgot to do something here real quick. Actually, you know, speaking of, you know, homies that flaked a little bit. Here, give me a little memento. Just to do this real quick, you know. There we go. Well, there we go. There we go. Well, there we go. Quick and easy puzzle. Just basically, you know, spread around the links and shit like that for the most part. Make sure, you know, at least, you know, some different individuals combine, you know, get the notes. Because I know one of my buddies was talking about me playing pool or some shit, so, you know, if he pops in here and says, hey, what's up, or some shit, then, you know, hey, may or may not do that. But I haven't heard from him since, like, earlier this afternoon, so I have no idea. Guess one of the things where we'll have to see. We'll say at least, you know, I'm definitely going to be excited for doing some karaoke for this weekend, at least, you know, when it comes up for at least Saturday, especially. Because, you know, my mom and my brother are going to be popping in for that night as well. And thinking maybe I can try to convince my brother to maybe do one or some shit. Be like, hey, do a song. I'm like well known around here, and you know I do too many as it is. Like you do one. I'm kind of thinking, you know, I could try to convince his ass. I don't think he's going to, but who knows? It'd be kind of funny if I can. I know me and Mom did a duet with Jackson by fucking Johnny Cash, but she for some reason was like, it was kind of hard to like do it with you wandering around and stuff. And I'm just like, this is kind of how I am. I'm a performer. I move around and stuff. It helps me get in the flow a little bit. Like, you know, all in all, you know, just sing your part and just boost it up. You know, I don't know, just like you. I don't know, you know what I mean? But we'll see if she wants to do that, you know, as well or some shit. tomorrow I'll ask her to, like, find one and then practice it. Because I want to make sure she at least kind of, gets a relative pitch with it, too. Because I know she does. I mean, I come from, like, both of my parents being musicians, at least at one point in their lives. Or at least in broadly different points in their lives. So I know, both of them certainly definitely got relative pitch. So I know my mom, should be able to figure that out pretty easily. Because she doesn't really have that bad of a singing voice. She just hasn't done it in a long time. I was kind of thinking, like, what type of, like, I want to try to, like, figure out some new songs to do, too. Because I've been kind of looking around for that for, like, the last, like, week or so, but haven't been, like, finding much. So I want to see if I can, like, try to, like, kind of look more obscurely, or at least see if there's some random shit on YouTube potentially. Because I know, like, I've found the most wildest, randomest, like, karaoke's on YouTube before. So I'm thinking if I can try to at least, like, find something, that, is a little brand new, a little fresh, then that'd be nice. Because I do have a few that are new that I think I'll at least, do for sure. But there's also a lot of that I haven't done in a long time. God damn it, this is what happens when you do karaoke for so long that, like, and you have a personal discography in your head about which ones you could do, and it's like, fucking damn it. I've done like so many that, like, there's definitely songs and shit that I haven't done in probably at least, like, months. Shit. Which, could do a little bit of pirate shit a little bit. Do some, like, Ailstorm. I haven't done Ailstorm in a fat minute, actually. You know what? I think I will. I think I'll do at least a little bit of some Ailstorm, because there's a lot of karaoke's of their music. So that one would actually be pretty easy. Might not make it, like, consistently, but I might at least do, a few that I know would be very easy. It's like Shipwreck, there's Pirate Mail Drinking Crew, Keyhauled, what else? Fucking Captain Morgan's Revenge. And then there's Treasure Island. There's a few. There's like, that's sort of ones I can think of just kind of right off the top of my head. Like, Drink. Wait, is that even a karaoke guy? I remember there was at one point. I don't know if it is anymore. I hope it is. That's a good song. And very fitting for a bar. Actually, funny enough, speaking of all the karaoke things, my mom's hit me up about it. What's she saying? Okay. It's just her fucking saying, like, about, like, when she's gonna arrive and shit, which, okay, whatever. Not that big of a deal. Despite knowing at least there's, like, a couple motherfuckers in there, this is, like, a chat interactive thing. Y'all could, pop in and, say a little thing or two. Besides, it's like I definitely got at least a few things, I can discuss about, but I know you need a little back and forth, to kind of stir the thoughts around. It's kind of a reverse zoo effect a little bit. It's just like, hey, I get entertained by, the shenanigans that the chat does sometimes. I can only carry away so much. I kind of like to take the poltergeist, like, balls egos philosophy with it, the reverse zoo theory, where I do this to be entertained by the shenanigans of the people, because they're the zoo. I'm merely the visitor of the zoo. And a lot of you chimps out there doing your thing, and exhibits, all the critters out there in exhibits and shit, are all out there just like turning backs from the hiding away in little dens and shit. It's like the zoo's boring. Hey, what's up, bros? See, now that I said something, now someone pops up. No, to be fair, you probably just showed up, and so whatever. You're just one of the managers of the zoo. Gorilla, yeah. Well, you're not one of the, people in the zoo. You're just one of the, attendees. You're one of the keepers. Hence the wrench. The wrench means you're a zookeeper. I just am a visitor. Sharing a stream. Nah, no worries. I just kind of find it amusing that, like, I'll see this view count, and it's been doing it for the past 15 minutes, where it'll be like 0, 3, or like it'll be like 0, 2, 4, 3. I don't know why I keep doing 2, but it's like it keeps going from like 3, 4, 2, 0, 4, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 4, 0, 2. It's like, dude, this shit literally flip flops like a fucking fish at the view count, so I never trust it. And some people be like, you only got like a few viewers. I'm like, do you think I give a fuck about that? Because every time I look at it, it goes schizo half the time. I don't trust that view count because it barely means anything for the most part. It just kind of gives you a rough estimate about how many people might be here. And honestly, I think it counts more for people that might be in like the chat section specifically. Because I know there's definitely been more than one person in here, even though now it says view count is 1. It's just like, it's weird because I'll see multiple people chat, even though it will be the actual number count will be off. Because there will be times where there's multiple people playing, typing up in chat, and the view count will be like, there'll be like 3 or 4 people in the chat typing, and the view count says 2 or 1. And it's like, why is there 4 people in here at least chatting? That don't make sense, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I never trust the view count shit. Because some people have actually, like, some random, people that have, scrolled by, has mentioned it before, and I'm just sitting here like, well, I don't trust it. I'll just tell them what I've been saying. It's like, it just kind of gives me an idea that there are at least people here. And honestly, it's about all I give a shit about. And if there's some people just lurking, listening, I don't care. That's fine too. I do that a lot when I listen to live streams. In fact, honestly, that's what I mostly do. Mostly because I'm working when I'm listening to them. If not, I'd at least be a little bit participatory in chats. And if I can, I do. George has been dealing with excess rain from Florida's bitch ass. Oh, yeah, because of the hurricane. Low-key, I kind of hope that hurricane floods Florida to the point the dick is removed and becomes like a little island. And, then like the mainland Florida could just be, absorbed into the other states. And Florida's no more. Can we just like not have Florida anymore? I'm okay with Florida just being kind of like hurricane flooded. Funny enough, I think it's the channel's called Liquor Store 352 or something. They're like a Tampa-based liquor store in Florida. They make a bunch of videos and YouTube shorts and shit. And they made a video recently about a hurricane party where it's like where someone at a liquor store is grabbing all this variety of liquor, and the meme is like the dude at the counter is like, "Hey, didn't you forget the water?" And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. Here, I'll be right back." He comes back with like a 24 pack of like Bud Light or something. And it's just like, "Yeah, thanks for looking out for me, man." And the liquor store bro sitting there like, "That's not what I meant by water." I have to go fucking pop out. Oh, dude, yeah, it does that for me too. You'll get lucky sometimes, and it will just load back up, but every time I'm listening to Paul's, streams when he does them, at least when I happen to tune in live, I can't also, like, black my screen off, whatever, like, you can with any other live stream, so you can just listen to it, because I don't know why, just the vertical streams that's just not compatible. I don't get it. I think it's stupid. They should just allow that to be a thing. But whatever, I guess. I mean, I guess, at least, you can listen to it in still, but you just can't, like, block this, or click off the thing. The older I get, the more convinced that I become that Florida is responsible for all the world's ills. Let's see. Florida did play a role in the whole Al Gore Bush thing because of Jeb Bush. Ron DeSantis, what's his name, like Scott Walker or whatever the fuck, that weird bald freak that ran for president in 2016 that looked like Lex Luthor before we realized that Jeff Bezos was Lex Luthor. That guy. It's like, I know either his first or last name is Scott. I don't know, but I know he comes from Florida. That much I know. But he ran for president like once, maybe twice, but never went anywhere. What else? I would say Florida man and Florida woman just in a nutshell, but there's so many good, funny stories. Like, that's honestly, Florida man and Florida woman, like, they're the only ones that are kind of, keeping Florida being somewhat memeable. Like, beyond that, like, I mean, I would just say obliterate it and just yeet it to the sun. But Florida man, Florida woman, I could see understanding about wanting to keep it around just so you can keep getting the stories, right? Because, like, Georgia man or, like, Texas man, it's like, it just doesn't flow, New York man, Maine man, Arkansas man, it's like, it just doesn't flow, Literally put any state in there and it doesn't work. Florida, though, Florida man. I mean, dude, you can't really, you can take the Florida out of Florida man, but you can't, but you can't really take the Florida out of Florida man. You know what I mean? You can get Florida man out of Florida, but you never take Florida out of Florida man. I mean, whenever a Florida man, fucking thing happens, regardless of any state, we still have to call them Florida man. And just have to assume they came from Florida at one point. What was Florida like before it became Florida? You're looking into the past to find out entire land of Florida is an eldritch horror and attach itself to the land that would become North America, and nobody would be the least bit surprised. I wouldn't be. But that would be if our timeline was actually fucking badass. Unfortunately, it's not. It was just kind of like, tropical jungles, marshlands, stuff like that. I mean, the Everglades, like, it wasn't polluted by man. That was basically really mainly what was going on. Until a bunch of, like, capitalists, fucking landowners want to buy a bunch of fuck you land and shit out, and, like, what now becomes Orlando, Miami, and shit like that. Like, like, that's kind of the main reason why. There's actually genuinely, like, a history behind, like, why Florida, at least, as a state, is the way it is, including, history that led up to that. There's actually some kind of genuine, interesting history around it. Because it used to be a Spanish territory, too, at one point. So, I mean, I guess that's like a nerd thing about Florida. It's actually got, like, some cool history around it. But that's, like, that's just it, though. It's history. It's what you used to be. What you are now is just, weirdly enough, a shadow of what you used to be, Florida. It's like, goddamn. And in the past, Florida wasn't really that great either. There was definitely a lot of fucking problems, especially when the Spanish were holding that shit. And America, too. I mean, anyone who's held that shit, unless it was, like, indigenous people that were there well before all this shit, has probably fucked it up. Let's just be honest. Funny enough, I actually have been following this indigenous channel that just kind of popped up in my feed not too long ago. I think it's Notorious Cree. I know the guy, is an indigenous Cree native, and he made this little meme short that popped in my feed that made me subscribe to him because I thought it was just hilarious. Where it's like, in 1492, when Columbus sailed the seas, the indigenous people discovered Columbus lost at sea. I'm just sitting here like, well, maybe they should have left him lost at sea. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. Based, but and just a major roast to the whole idea of Christopher Columbus Day. It's like, yeah, fuck that shit. Make it Happy Indigenous Day. And make it so, the real story is that, realistically enough, it's actually kind of true if you think about it. Columbus was lost at sea. The whole point of him, going across the ocean was saying, oh, I can go to India. I mean, that's also partially where the term Indians came from, too, was because Columbus was trying to discover India and finding, a direct path just across the sea saying, hey, there's a way to do it. And a lot of people thought he was a little quirky, but, hey, why not? It's not like, people thought it would be impossible. They just thought that, like, there was just too much ocean to traverse. That was mainly the thing. Like, they just thought it would just take way too long to do it. And, well, not necessarily. It didn't take too long, mainly because there's a whole nother fucking continent there. That's the Americas, and I mean, so technically it was kind of lost because, if he's trying to find a quicker route to India, you didn't find it. You were going the wrong way, you dummy, big dumbass. But the quickest route to India, for Europe was what they had at that time. And still is, basically. So, I mean, it was so silly. I mean, he still discovered a new world, but even then, not really, because Leif Erikson, too. And also, the indigenous people have been there for thousands of fucking years, well before, fucking Europeans showed up. And even then, if you really want to say, like, at least due to technicality, actually, bro, being like, well, Europe discovering those lands. Okay, sure. But even if you want to say that, Leif Erikson, still was the one to do it first. And honestly, was a lot more collaborative and a lot more willing to hang out with the natives and actually intermingle with them a little bit. The only reason why they end up hating each other was actually, funnily enough, because of an accident. Because, a lot of the Nordic men, and the Nordic colonists at that time gave cheese as a part of a food trade, to a lot of the indigenous at the time. But all of them were lactose intolerant, the natives at the time, because none of them ate dairy product or cheese and shit. So they thought that they were being poisoned by the Vikings at that time and started attacking them and doing skirmishes. It was literally over misunderstanding shit, basically. Which, hey, language barriers, shit like that, dietary factors that no one could really, at that time, realize, it makes sense, right? Like, that was really the only reason why those, settlements failed. Because other than that, they were actually, like, having pretty good relations for a while. Especially if you read the Vinland Saga. I mean, a lot of the Northmen actually talked pretty fondly about the natives. So, honestly, I mean, Leif Erikson was doing it better than fucking Columbus because he was just a colonialist, fucking rich, weird Portuguese piece of shit. And a fucking savage, frankly. I mean, of how he treated them when he fucking showed up. So pissed at Columbus Day is a federal holiday, but Halloween isn't. Let's see, I got straight. Guy who didn't actually discover anything is responsible for countless native deaths. Or, a holiday that has a very strong, tradition, not just, internationally, at least in Europe and stuff, but also in America too. I mean, I suppose, like, we can't say that Columbus didn't really necessarily discover anything. He discovered different parts of, the Americas. Because I think he landed in what was, like, in the Caribbean Sea, like one of those islands over there or some shit. Or maybe Cuba or something. I forget which islands or archipelagos he landed in, but it wasn't mainland America. But, I know that, that's pretty much the only thing he discovered, if you really want to be honest. Beyond that, he didn't really discover the Americas. In fact, honestly, Europe knew about this shit because of Lake Erikson. A lot of it was mostly just hearsay because, Northmen and shit didn't really keep writing and shit outside of runes and stuff like that. And also, via, storytelling verbally and shit like that. And via the sagas. So there wasn't really that many records of it. So it's like, Europe at that time was aware that, like, there was something there. They just thought it was, like, way up north and, like, some smaller continent way up there. The idea that, Columbus, with his route that he was taking, they thought he was just fucking loony because he was just going to cut right across the fucking ocean. And they were like, what are you doing? It's like there's tales of, a northern land that you could probably hop, skip, jump from there or some shit. What do you, like... that's, I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. That's partly why he thought it was kind of a little bit of a quack, because, like, you're just doing a death sentence for you and your men, basically. Like, what are you doing? That's why no one really wanted to invest on that voyage and shit. Like, I mean, Columbus had a hard time before making that voyage because he wanted to do that even sooner. I think it was in like the 1480s when he was trying to do it. But it was only until like some queen, I think the Queen of Spain, who actually finally convinced the king to, like put some money down on it, because she was like, well, why not? And even if he's wrong, they'll all just die off anyway, so who cares? We're Spain. We got a lot of money. We're a rich royal fucking empire here. She just thought, hey, we could throw enough money for them to at least last like 3 or 4 months out there or some shit. And if they make it, they make it. If not, who gives a fuck? They're dead. That much money ain't that, that it wouldn't be that much. Some provisions for that long, especially from the coffers of the Spanish Empire, not that much. In comparison to like all sorts of other shit that they'd probably be investing in, like different wars or other conquests and shit, it probably was cheapskate money. It's like, 3 or 4 months of provisions for like 8 ships, like, ooh. Like that's not as, impactful in comparison to maybe needing a few years of provisions for like 20 ships in like some colonial fucking settlement that you might need because there's like some uprising, you need troops there and shit, and somewhere in Africa or whatever. I wonder if there's any fights over miscommunications. Tell the chief that I thank him for hospitality. No problem, Chancellor. He said, bite me, you fat bastard. The chief glares at the man who naively smiles and waves at him. Well, at least, when it came to Leif Erikson and shit, from what I understand, that wasn't really the case. I mean, and even if there were like a few little frustrations or skirmishes and shit, usually there was at least, a way to, settle those quarrels and stuff. From at least what I can understand. I mean, the only reason why there was like a straw that broke the camel's back moment was because of that cheese story that I was talking about. And that's also where that tale of like that of, Viking war chiefess or whatever, like that fucking shield maiden, like literally ripped her fucking, shit off, had like a sword or like an axe and a shield and was like bashing her fucking axe on her boobs, just fucking blasted out for all the natives to see. And like the fucking 20 plus like, war party was just like, what the fuck? And they all just like left. They all like ran away because they're like, what the fuck? This crazy bitch. It's one of the things I learned when I was out in Iceland because, they have like a whole part of the museum in the Saga Museum that talks about like, not just the sagas of Iceland, but also of Finland too a little bit. And that was like one of my most favorite stories about like, during the Vinland sagas at least, is that, I mean, maybe it's not true, but I kind of choose to believe it because like, if you got like some crazy thick shield maiden muscle bitch fucking naked smacking an axe up against her tits just with a shield like, rah! I would probably run away too, to be honest. It's like, not only is she gonna disavow me, but she's gonna like, fuck my dead dick and like destroy me in every fiber of my being and take my skull. It's like, I don't want her near me. This cheese stuff that they gave us is poison. I kind of want more of it though. That's kind of why they thought that. Because they did think it was tasty, but because their gut bacteria and their dietary lifestyle had nothing to do with dairy or anything like that, it just could not process it. So they were literally just shitting their guts out for days. And then when, that was going on, they just threw the rest of it away and said, fuck that shit, and fuck these guys. Like, they just made us shit our guts out. What did they try to do, kill us? That's literally what they thought. And see, like, at least that I can respect because, I mean, there was genuine, like, despite language barriers and stuff, a work in progress going on. But, hey, mistake is a mistake. But, I don't blame the Northmen at that time either because they didn't know better. They just thought, oh, we're people, they're people, we eat cheese, they probably would eat cheese too. What could go wrong? Here, have some cheese. We have made cheese and we want to share some with you. It's like, they naively just didn't realize that because, I mean, modern dietary science wasn't a thing at that time. They didn't know. Because to them, at least the Northmen, it's just a normal thing, that they just have in their diet, so it doesn't affect them. But for, indigenous people, at least in the north over there, in where Newfoundland is today, they just legitimately didn't have anything in their diet at all that related to that. So their gut couldn't handle it. That's just legit what happens. So at least, with Leif Erikson, I can at least respect that, with the expansion of exploring new worlds and stuff. Because there was a lot more of a curiosity with that, more so than like, we must expand and conquer everything. That dog is a goofball. What a little turd. What a turd. Clean this motherfucker out before it gets to a point where it's clogged, because I know this stupid shit will be pretty clogged. And that is annoying. Good burp. Nice. You want to radically change, subjects, because fuck it, why not? How about them politics news, going on for today, eh? Oh. Anyone heard about that corrupt little weasel that, ended up being caught today? With some charges as mayor? Because, ooh. I was kind of sharing some thoughts about that on my coffee break from earlier, but old zoinks and oh boy. Do I have some takes for that? And also, like, a few takes about, like, CNN, too, because I kind of was tuning into some shit that I found out about their asses, and I'm just like, why am I not surprised? But I'll put a pin on that one first, though. Think I know what you're talking about, but I forget the dude's name. Oh, I remember. Good old Eric Adams. Good old Eric. Who also, because of all this bullshit, has basically ratcheted significantly to the right even more so, because of how much of a weasel little shit that he is. But dude, I was like watching, and like because I heard about it. I didn't really like watch any videos about it. I just kind of heard the general gist of it from like an article that I saw, and like straight up, dude, like it's like a lot of these indictments are kind of fucking wild. Like he's got like foreign fucking like laundering money and fraud and shit going on and stuff, and has like got ties to like bribing people, or some shit, and also is like. Been caught funneling money from like Turkey or whatever the fuck. It's just like, it's fucking wild. I forget all the exact details, but what's even more funnier is that when he made like, some speech, some press conference, there was a bunch of fucking people heckling his ass. And oh my God, it was beautiful. It was so fucking beautiful. Like, I remember like there was like a black guy that was on a megaphone being like, you're not, the mayor of the people, and you're not, what you're doing is not some black thing that's, of New York and shit. What you're doing is a you thing in New York, you corrupt bastard, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just like, damn, dude. Shit. I think the same dude also says, like, you're basically like a black Donald Trump, which, frankly, that guy ain't wrong, because he's also saying that this is a witch hunt against him. And if he, supposedly found guilty, that he'll fight it, because he's actually innocent. So he's literally doing, it's a witch hunt, folks. I did everything right and they indicted me. He's literally doing that. So he's not, that guy heckling him, it's not even wrong. He is basically being a black Trump. I did everything right and they indicted me as New York mayor. It's like, Jesus Christ, you fucking worthless little rat, bro. And every time these fucking Democrats, bro, like, dude, whenever they think, you know, they get called out and heckled and shit, oh, let's just go further to the right and deny it more. Or like, you know, another great example. It's like with the border of immigrants, which, hey, Eric Adams is a very critical xenophobic piece of rat shit, you know, when it comes to that too. He's not very fond of immigrants either, and he's been going way to the fucking right when it comes to that issue as well. Just like a lot of Dems lately. You know, so it's just like, I mean, you know, there's such a, like, I kind of find it hilarious that people don't realize that there is genuinely a fucking ratchet effect. Because, like, every time these Dems, you know, get called out for their fucking bullshit, more often than not, they just literally go to the right of things and be like, oh, no, Republicans say I'm this. No, actually, I want to agree with them. You know, they just don't want to compromise. No one can know her for being in love. Turkish delights. He stuffs his hands full of them in his mouth. Dude, for real, bro. I mean, it's just whack, dude. I mean, like, it's one thing for, I think, you know, like, Republicans, you know, to be caught with this shit. I think, you know, for a lot of people, especially people on the left, like me and, you know, whatever, we just think, oh, well, okay, whatever. That's expected. You know, but when it comes to Dems, it's like, you know, I also think, well, kind of expected, but you would think they'd be smarter about it because there's so many fucking elements about our federal laws and shit when it comes to stuff like this where a lot of this is by proxy already fucking legal. And if you're so brazen, if you're corruption to the point you go beyond what is already legalized when it comes to that fucking corruption, then it's like, bruh. Like, you think the Dems would be way more smarter about that shit. But they're not. Honestly, it's getting to the point where they're not. I mean, I don't get, like, I mean, this is why, you know, someone like a Bernie, you know, or some shit, you know, running and challenging, you know, Sesko was so fucking important, frankly. You know, say what you want about him, maybe kind of like losing a lot of his energy and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. I got my problems with him too, especially these days, unfortunately. But especially during 2016 and 2020, I mean, it's like to have him there forced the Dems to kind of ratchet to the left a little bit for once. And I think the only thing so far, at least in this election cycle, that, you know, has ratcheted Dems a little to the left a little bit, is just Tim Walz, and that's pretty much fucking it. I mean, it's like, I mean, which he's a Veep. You know, Kamala can give him a lot of power and jurisdiction as a Veep, or she could basically neuter him and just let him be there as a token gesture, and that's it. And I think, frankly, the latter is going to probably be more true than the former. I mean, considering that his record is actually fucking good. So I say that I prefer him to be the nominee than the other way around, to be frank. Because I think he actually has got a fucking record to show. Like, I was listening to a Kyle video, like, about, you know, when it comes to, like, whose record is better and shit, when it comes to, like, the Veep and president so far, when it comes to both sides here. And one thing I noticed is like, oh, these policies, blah, 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 you know, all this other shit. At the end of them, he kept saying Tim Walz. Oh, this Tim Walz thing. This is what he did. This is what he did. And then, you know, maybe every now and then he'll throw in, like, you know, a little sprinkling of, like, yeah, that's a Biden thing, or yeah, this is a Kamala thing. But it was pretty much consistently Walz, Walz, Walz. Like, he was just continuously, like, naming him over and over again. It's like, why don't we have him as our fucking prez? Because honestly, I'd be enthusiastic at that point, frankly. I mean, honestly, like another Democrat in that type of style, I was actually trying to read up a little bit about his record because I kind of want to at least, you know, advocate more about like these type of Dems, that are, in the party, because I at least think there is a way to I maybe not overtly co-opted the party, but at least maybe ratcheted to the left to certain degrees. And at least the one I'm thinking of is Mark Gamba. He used to be my fucking mayor. And, amongst a lot of his, policy I've talked about, like when it comes to infrastructure works and, housing initiatives and shit, one thing that I did find out was that, in the state of Oregon and, just overall, we're pretty much like the first city to enact like a climate action, like kind of pact policy, legislation in our city. And also, declare a state of climate emergency to where, I forgot exactly what the date is, but to at least, become a carbon neutral town in the state of Oregon. We're pretty much the only town so far to do that, which I was like, whoa, fucking based. I mean, I didn't realize that, but, because he's also a major climate advocate. And so, when I learned that earlier today, I was like, fucking based. That's another good thing about his ass, why when he was mayor. So he didn't have too much, at least overall, but the very few things that he did do is fucking great. Another reason why I think, records of these more blue collar type of like dens and shit, like Waltz, Gamba, etc., like I think they're a lot more valuable than, people take credit for. But, after a certain point, they end up kind of getting a little, cut out from the main system. Because I also found out in 2020, he tried to run for the 5th congressional district, my district in Oregon, and he lost in the primary. I actually didn't even realize, at least not that I'm aware of, that he was running in the primary at that time. Actually, I think so. I might have voted for him in the primary, actually, now that I think about it. But it's been a while, so I don't exactly remember. But he lost in the primary, but then in 2022, he ran for, state rep and pretty much smushed the fucking opposition in the primary and in the general. It was like a fucking mandate, basically. So people here definitely love him, but I mean, I think he just needs a little bit more to show before he can kind of like get back up there. But it's just one of those things where it's like, it just gets so fucking annoying when like, the broader party and shit, especially get more xenophobic, more like pro-cop, more fucking, just, more pro-fracking too. And like, pretty much like, like ratcheting more to the right, especially on, issues like the border and shit. I mean, a lot of my issues with the Dems is, literally just straight up, over genuine fucking reasons. There's no reason. It's not like there's no fucking reason. It's just like, fuck him because I'm jaded, so, I mean, it's just kind of like, to me, overly ridiculous. And I don't get why, like, we can't have, like, that criticism and actually challenge that because, oh, I guess you're just going to be for Trump, huh? Oh, so you support Trump then, huh? Well, you just want your death camp to show him, huh? Oh, yeah, what are you going to do for first part and then basically just let Trump in? So what you're basically saying is that you want death camps for queer people. I see how it is there. You just want Trump to win. God. Shit like that really genuinely fucking annoys me, dude. I haven't been hearing it a lot, but it's just like, I mean, but the times that I do, I just immediately want to just like, I just say, I ain't taking it seriously. Because like, there's just not a fucking benefit or an interest, for that to happen for like the broader duopoly. And besides, we already have them. It's called especially private prisons, but just the prison industrial complex overall. Like, goddamn. So like, the people don't realize that, like, pretty much like the camps have been here for a long fucking time. It's just called the prison industrial complex. I mean, it's like this whole like fear mongering around that type of shit is just, to me, especially beyond ridiculous because they're just, it's like, if you really wanted to like, like say down the brass tacks, they're already here. But they're not death camps, they're just labor camps and just incarceration torture chambers. What in the fucking? I keep getting spammed from one of my buddies on Instagram. What the fuck? It's not fucking. It ain't fucking Venom, but it's one of my buddies from the bar actually. Is there any like reply to him? I guess I'll just have to wait until they say something again. They're trying to call me. Wish there was a way to say I'm streaming over here. I literally can't call right now. Hi. Okay, Democrats, you want to become popular again, right? Yes, good. So you get criticized every time you do something right wing, correct? That's right. Okay, so if your base doesn't like that, you should govern further to the points left. To the far right. Gets back in down a flight of stairs. Yeah, just like for real. It literally is like the fucking, like Man Ray fucking, Patrick meme, dude. It literally is that, dude. That's what it literally is. Oh my god. Bruh. Jesus Christ. Oh wait, I have a waiting message. Hold on. Oh no! Okay, I didn't realize it was gonna pop off on the fucking stream, but whatever. Actually, hold on, I want to restart this. There we go. Okay, whatever. And I still be seething. Oh, dude, I straight up would. I seethe over it, dude. It's why I'm jaded about it, but also why I tend to be a lot more of a labor leftist in general, fundamentally more so than just lefty. Like, I want to at least specify, because, like, what does that mean? It's like, well, one, fuck the electoral system overall and the politics around that. And I want to, have labor politics transcend that, because it does. I was even listening to Leftist Mafia last week, because they were kind of bitching about Sean O'Brien's, thing or whatever. I was actually talking about this a couple streams ago. Or probably, that week, actually, now I think about it. But, like they were kind of saying, oh no, the leftist, labor politics, or like just labor politics doesn't transcend that though. And here's why. I'm just like, I get why you say that, but no, you're wrong. and I'm just like, god damn it, I want to fucking be guests on the show, or at least maybe hit up Matt Benner when he does his own little call-in shit, because he does do too. It's like, motherfucker, I want to have a chat with your ass. Oh, fuck. Oh, wait, hold on. All right, I can respond here really quick. Hold on. Just want to do this real quick. Just wait for this thing. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go. Real enough, I might have a homie pop in for a bit. Because I don't know what exactly, but the thing he's saying, he wants to crash my shed and over here a little for a night. I'm assuming, I think he might have like a homeless situation going on, and I have no idea what's happening with that. But hopefully things are good with that. He's homie. I mean, no since high school. Don't want, if he needs it, here to help. But to be fair, I have no idea what the condition of that shed is like. I mean, it probably needs to be cleaned out a little bit, to be fair, but I got no fucking clue. I haven't been in there in a while. Dude, I actually just remembered, some shit that I saw on YouTube earlier today that just like was fucking whack, bro. Oh shit. Hey, he's my boy. Question, yeah, if you want. I was just kind of mentioning I have no idea what the shed is like because I haven't been in there in a while, so I mean, you might have to kind of clean it out a little bit. I have no idea. Or at least like maybe organize some shit. Cool if you can. If you want. Here to help that case. What'd you like get kicked out of your old spot? Or like the spot you were staying at? Walking from Duffy's? Alright. That's probably about like a half-hour walk at the most. So, I'm assuming you'll probably be here not too long. I know there's a way to kind of cut through, like, and make the trip shorter. Like, I don't really want to name, like, the street names, but, obviously that, like, corner street, like, you obviously have, like, obviously here, and you got that corner street right here. Walk down that, and then once you get to kind of the rail area, you'll have, like, this, that little T cross section, between those two roads. There's a little dead end road over here. Cut for that. Cuts down the trip way quicker. See you soon. Go cool. You'll probably hear me talking like politics or some shit like that. Sounds good, boss man. No worries, man. Oh, so dead. Fuck. Well, hey, at least I was kind of saying there was going to be maybe an off chance a home mouse show up, and hey, not the home mouse expected, but hey. Gonna leave when Duffy's close. When they close? Don't they close in like, what, 2 hours or some shit? It's like not even midnight yet. That's okay, they close shortly. Oh, they closed early? Well, I'm assuming probably because it's dead as fuck. I never know, whatever. What, they closing at midnight? I mean, that's what I would assume, because hey, it's like 10 minutes to midnight. Okay, sounds good. See you soon. Go. To go take a second to acknowledge how awesome hummus is. Like, it's so fucking simple that some garbanzo beans, a little sesame paste, some olive oil, a little bit of olive oil, and lemon juice, but it's delicious. And if you want to do a little extra spice of life, you add a little extra shit. Some, diced up, delicious, fucking, chili peppers, some garlic, maybe a little tomato in there. Get some little basil. Get a little pesto maybe, and just a little soft little hint of pesto. Not a lot, but just a little hint. Dude, like, hummus is kind of like the spice of all love in life. Hummus is great. I'm not the biggest fan of just regular old basic ass hummus, but when you add some extra shit to some hummus, when you add a little extra oomph to the hummus, it is just amazing shit. Lightly toasted pita bread, a little hummus, maybe a couple slices of, some lamb or some chicken on there on the top. And, oh my god damn. That's some good shit. I was going to make myself the most spankin' dankish samish, but my coworker closed up the sandwich bar a little early. I was like, debating before I went on lunch. It's like, don't want a sandwich. I was looking at the bar thinking, lettuce looks good. Those olives look fresh. The jalapenos, those pickles looking pretty good. Looked at the bacon. I'm like, looked fine. I looked at the bread. I'm like, bread's looks like it's a little short in stock, but I can make do. And once I thought, all right, I'll make one before I go on my lunch real quick. He closed it up. I looked and I was like, wait, there's nothing over there. And then I looked back at the kitchen and I realized he just rolled it all back over there. I was like, I looked at my boy Skittle. I was like, I was thinking about making a sandwich, you prick. He's like, you should have said something, man. I was like, man, maybe I should have, because I was debating it and I didn't think you were going to close it that early. I was a little butthurt. It's like, you motherfucker. Because, dude, I make some spank-dankin' bacon sandwiches. I don't even add any other meat. I just get a bunch of bacon. I'll cook that in our little toaster oven for a little bit. Not all the way, just at least 10, 15 seconds in there. I don't even really have to press a cook button. I just can let them sit in there and just, just let it sit for a while. After 15, 20, maximum 30 seconds, depending on how much bacon I use. It is perfect. Just to let it sit in there. So once I get it out, it's all nice, kind of got a good crisp to it. So then I layer that up with the bread and a little bit of honey mustard too, and then all the other ingredients. And I don't just put all the bacon at once. I layered it up. Because in a way, you kind of need the bacon to kind of layer everything. So you have a flat base layer, with it all. And then I put it back in the toaster oven once it's all layered up. Toast all that, toast it all to completion. Bring it back out. Put a little bit of, spinach on there. Put a head of lettuce, put one nice good leaf of lettuce on there. Squish it all together. Wrap that bitch up. Boom. Dude, fire as fuck, bro. Make that sandwich. I guarantee you will not regret it. That's the worst. What's even worse, though, have you ever had your entire school day hedge on a singular item on lunch, but then you get there and realize it's gone? You hit me in the soul with that one. There's some PTSD behind that, bro. There's times where I'll even go to work and I'm like, I'm kind of in the mood for some of this. I might want to make something. Sandwiches I was talking about. I go to sandwich store, or maybe go to our hot case, or maybe go to our freezer, or whatever, to maybe fry something, or maybe to cook something up, or whatever, or maybe prep something. And I'll see half the shit or just all the shit ain't even there. I'll ask, hey, are we out? And they'll be like, yeah, we're out. I'll be like, fuck. Now I have to find alternatives. Ugh, dude, that right there is annoying. It's just some straight devastation, bro. Straight bunk as fuck. Well, I just kind of remembered about what I was thinking about from earlier about this C-SPAN thing I was thinking about. I forgot the lady's name, but I think she was some sort of a reporter, or maybe I think some sort of Palestinian advocate rights person. I don't really remember who she was, but I remember that it was Senator Kennedy that was going after her ass and be like, so you obviously support Hamas, right? And she would just laugh at the question and be like, no, I don't. That's ridiculous. And, would basically just say that's almost that's pretty much a defensive question. No, I obviously don't. And it has nothing to do with what I'm advocating for. And you'd be like, oh, well, okay, I guess I see what you feel about that. So, obviously you love Hezbollah, don't you? And, dude, I was just like, what the fuck? It's who in the fuck are you, bro? A sitting senator, a Democrat Kennedy fucking going out there so, do you condemn this? Do you condemn that? Just over and over again, just basically and just like fucking pretty much harassing her ass. And I'm just like, dude, she's got the fucking patience of a saint. I don't even remember her name, dude. And also, the reason why I found out about it, because don't want to invoke the name, but Voosh. Yeah, because I saw a Voosh clip that literally says, dude, condemn Hamas, dude, condemn Hamas. And it was copy-paste over and over again until there was no more characters for the title. I was like, what the fuck is this? Did, like, Vosh, like, break his brain? Did his brain break? And I was just listening to the first 5 minutes. It was just mostly just that. He didn't even really commentate much. And I was just like, what in the fuck? Who is this guy, bro? Like, what in the fuck, man? I think it was from his Vosh Pit channel or something. I forget which. But I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it was just so absurd. It's like, how much of this, like, weird, like, Zionistic fucking shit has, like, plagued our, government and shit, bro? It's like, fucking Christ, man. I just can't fathom it, honestly, in a way. It's like, how are we this unhinged? Like, seriously, how in the fuck are we this unhinged? I probably failed my math test based on how my history teacher looked at my project, and I probably failed that too. But let's say you get lunch and a nice scoop, delicious cinnamon. Takes out a redacted. Starts. Damn. Wonder they ever flip the questions back on these fucks. So you support us? No. Do you support kids getting their limbs blown off? No. Good to know you don't. Dude, I wish, but, people unfortunately don't got balls in this country anymore. I would. I'd be like, hey, do you support, children being blown to bits by bombs? No, of course not. Then good thing that you don't support the IDF and their, apartheid and with Israel, right? And also they're using the exact same arguments for Lebanon, and the nation of Lebanon specifically has not done fuck all to Israel, bro. You can say Hezbollah maybe did, but Israel's like, oh, well, everyone in Lebanon's fault. Fuck all of them now. And they're using the exact same fucking arguments, with Lebanon now, what they were doing with Gaza now. It's like, and West Bank too. It's like, and the fact that the U.S. is starting to deploy more troops over there, and fucking, Israel's putting troops on the border of Lebanon too now. The October surprise is gearing up to be a Middle East war. And I absolutely 100% guarantee you that America is going to be involved. And honestly, funny enough, last Tuesday when I was hanging out with my friends at Selwood, which probably I found out that the whole rock tower that I made a couple weeks ago, it got knocked down because a bunch of people are dipshits. Sad face. But anyway, we made a hypothesis, and we were like, yo, hot take. Wasn't my initial take, but honestly, I think it's based in, I think, honestly, I would be like, whoa, this is a power move. But here, this is what it is. It's like, let's say, Biden administration, because supposedly he still is the president, I don't know, or whatever. I don't know what he's doing anymore. It's like, let's say that it just continues to escalate to the point we are directly involved with Lebanon on top of, Gaza and, and West Bank with Palestine. It's like, some of my friends were like, what if, Kamala, resigned as vice president, but still was running for president and won as president because she, did a power move to basically show support, for the Palestinian cause by resigning as a vice president in the administration in the last few months, or I guess the last month, or I guess, the last few months of his administration, regardless of who wins. I mean, because basically that's showing solidarity and support, saying, I'm not supporting this administration anymore. I'm resigning as vice president. I'm still going to, continue to run in my campaign, for president, but I'm no longer going to be part of Biden's administration. I'm resigning as vice president. And she now is former vice president. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, that would be based as fuck. Let's say the October surprise is that we end up, getting into an incursion in Lebanon and shit, on top of, Gaza and, the West Bank and shit, and she says, fuck it, I'm resigning, this is my red line kind of thing. I'm not going to lie, I'd be like, that's fucking base, and hey, and at least now you're showing some actual fucking, effort to say, I actually kind of support, at least being somewhat critical of Israel, and this is my red line. I've now made that clear. I mean, honestly, that might maybe make me consider voting for it if she did that. But I don't know if she would, but hot take, but I think it would be base as fuck if she did that. I mean, that doesn't really excuse every fucking thing about her, but that would, I think, take a giant chip off the shoulder a little bit when it comes to this issue. I don't expect her to exactly be, anti-apartheid Israel and shit like that, but I think it'll be kind of a power move to say, no, we're not going to support your incursion in Lebanon, but whatever happens, Palestine. Once a politician is already dressed clearly and consciously, t-shirt, cannon plus rotten pumpkin. T-shirt, cannon plus rotten pumpkin. For real, dude. I honestly hope she does, because I think that will even show to a lot of uncommitted voters in Dearborn, Michigan, where I missed a message. Oh, did I? Wait, hold on. Oh, it's on top messages. Hold on, let me go on all messages. Wait, it didn't. I missed a message? Well, are you sure? I don't think YouTube put it in there, because it still shows the same messages I've been seeing. Well, what the fuck? YouTube, really? Gotta love YouTube sometimes. That's sarcasm. God damn it. I know, dude. It's frustrating for me, too. Because it is kind of annoying when I can't read all the fucking messages because YouTube decides it wants to be a little nanny and watch what we say. Ugh. Fucking ridiculous, dude. YouTube is ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Yeah, actually, it honestly kind of ties into the thing I was kind of thinking about from earlier. Because CNN was pretty much caught overtly lying about what Rashida Tlaib said about I even forgot what. It was I think to Attorney General or something. Nate Silver and Dana Bash or Dana Fash, is basically was basically saying, oh, she's criticizing this Attorney General, in New York for prosecuting a lot of these Palestinian protesters because he's Jewish. He happens to be a Jewish man. No. Did I mention he's a Jewish man? Basically fucking lying and saying that Rashida Tlaib pretty much criticized him because he's Jewish. Even though Rashida Tlaib said fuck all about his background. I don't even know the guy's name. I forgot what his name is. And frankly, I know so little about him that if I saw a picture of him, I guarantee I'd be like, he's Jewish? What? Okay. And? Because who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Because, holy shit. It's obviously she's not saying anything about that. She, if anything, a lot of it is just basically because of the Zionistic bullshit that he probably supports. And what's even more fucked up is that, a lot of these, that whole position of hey, this person who's a Jewish man who's also a Zionist, basically. And it's just are you saying that because he's Jewish that he's a bad person? That's kind of an anti-Semitic kind of fucking position to take, if you think about it. Because the idea is that, what, does every Jewish person support, the state of Israel by proxy? Obviously not. But the whole Zionistic belief, when it comes to that position, is basically say that no, actually, yes, they do. And if not, then they're not a good Jewish person because they're basically betraying their people, kind of shit, which is genuinely kind of anti-Semitic as fuck. I mean, it's based off a very anti-Semitic kind of belief system. And the only other fucking people that, believe in weird fucking foo-foo bullshit like that are fucking Nazis, or other anti-Semite motherfuckers, it's just like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? I mean, when you push this shit, so much, you end up, honestly, pushing and enabling anti-Semitism more so than not. But, if you criticize Zionism and obviously Nazis too, then, weirdly, in some weird fucking jujitsu mindfuck situation, you're actually the anti-Semite. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck? What? It's absurd. It's insane. I was trying to say, how we've talked about chucking tomatoes and rotten eggs at shitty politicians. I think politicians should be able to do that with these weasel-ass reporters. Oh, yeah. I think it should be both ways. And also, politicians that end up being based should do that to shitty politicians as well. Like, I kind of want to see a little bit of, like, radical little, hey, Sonny. I want to see more of that. I want to see these motherfuckers kind of, like, get at each other a little bit. Because there was a time where our fucking Congress and Senate, used to fucking literally have, like, full-on fights in the fucking House floor and shit. Or the Senate floor. And, man, there's been a few times where it's gotten pretty close to that shit. And it's like, motherfucker, can we just have some of these motherfuckers just get up? Like, yeah, look, I know people don't really like Sean Bryan right now, but when it came to, like, that, what was his name? Like, Tom Cotton or whatever the fuck that word, this little dirtbag name was, like, who wanted to start a fight with him. Be like, hey, anytime, any place, bitch. And then Sean Bryan was like, all right, bet. Name the place, name the time, let's meet. And then they both got in a fucking fight in some hearing, and Sean Bryan's like, well, you stand up, you do something, pal. It's like, come on. I was just saying, like, what was I meaning? I was saying, maybe we'll get a cup of coffee and talk about it. What, you wanted to fight me? Oh, what, really? Okay, well, stand up, do something. What are you going to do? And then Bernie's in like, hey, I, Bernie Sanders, need both of you to calm the fuck down. It's like, Bernie, I love you, but shut up. Let him fight. I want to see that little weasel bitch go up to O'Brien and actually try to fucking sock him. And then O'Brien just, like, clobber stomps his ass, and fucking breaks the fucking desk that he was sitting in front of, with his back, bro. Because, holy shit, dude, you can't tell me we need at least a little garnish of that shit again. You know what I mean? A little garnish. It doesn't have to be, like, full-on fucking, like, rise kind of situation a little bit, but there needs to at least be a little, like, raw, fucking, like, a little something. Let them rough it up a little bit, and then, break it up afterwards. But, let them get their fucking, froze in there, you know what I mean? Leave deaths now. Cool. I like to imagine during the 2020 election when the reporter asked Bernie, how are you going to pay for all day out? Bernie was like, hold on, I prepared a response. And then he just hits her with her face with a bag of rotten horseradish. Yeah, I prepared a response. Here you go, bitch. Have a little bit of sauerkraut, you dumb cunt. Oh my god, I wish he would have done that, man. Dude, that would have been based. How's that for a response, you dumb bitch? Damn. Man, I hope for 2028, like, the Democratic primary is basically just not null and void, because it'll be kind of nice to see maybe the Veep, for Harris, do a little flex, be like, actually, I'm taking over, or maybe somebody else or some shit. And then they say, hey, Waltz, you want to be my business, you want to do like a little flex? I'll let you, be my Veep, but I step down your Veep. Or you end up being Prez. Oh, promotes violence against women. Oh, that would imply someone who works for CNN is a real person with feelings. Well, exactly. And most of them aren't. There's a reason why Mehdi Hassan isn't, with like any of these news organizations really anymore. Because that guy's been actually pretty fucking based. He actually did like a debate recently with some Zionist psycho. I've been meaning to watch it, and actually maybe one of these nights we can maybe listen to it in the background and just like react to it at least audibly, because apparently like the Zionist fucking freak was just generally, well, shocker, unhinged, and a fucking over fascist fucking freak. I haven't listened to all of it, but I really definitely want to. Because goddamn. And I hate that fucking venom flaked on my ass. Little jerk. I think the dog will need some meats. Got some beefs. Got some turkeys. Turkeys and beefs. Zuzu. Come here, little boy. Just want to move things out of the way a little bit, because I know how it's going to be. Come on. I know you can open that door. Oh my god, he's being a lazy bean right now. Oh, I'll grab him real quick. Yeah, hello. Hi, buddy. You bean. Oh my goodness, look at you. Look at those little ears. Oh my goodness. Oh. Good little boy. Hey, can I take this off my charger? Yes, I can. So I'm going to do that. So then we can actually have this be more. There we go. That's better. Baby. Oh, here he comes. Oh, shit. Already knocking shit over. I see how it is. Here, come here. Hey, baby. Big butt. Oh, my goodness. You might need to take multiple chunks out of this, sir. Give me a papa. Oh, you sweet boy. Mwah. 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 Oh. There you go. Little goofy baby. Hey, up. Up. Hey, puppy. Oh, you goodness. Hey, get away from that. Get up here. Ah. Your whiskers are even wet, dude. What the fuck? Smoosh. The smoosh of the face. Smoosh face. Aww. This cute little snoot. Little snoot. Adorable little snoot. Oh my god, you big hunk of chunk. You chunk of hunk. He's like, I am pleased with my existence. Meh. Meh. Oh my god, this smushy little thing. You're ridiculous, you know that? You're such a squirm ball. Oof. Yeah. Oh my good lord. Well, I'm not too sure what he's trying to do here, but I think he's gearing up for a little less. He's like gearing up for something. What we're trying to gear up for, buddy? You're gonna try to crush my nuts? Because that ain't gonna happen. Yep, I think he's gonna try. Wait, hold on, you gotta see how much of a stretchy little sploot he ends up being. Dude, I got shitty politicians and reporters get pissed on by Zukov except Ron DeSantis because some tells him he'll be into it. Well, that's when I have to train Zukov to shred the throats of men. But I think he's too friendly for that. Yep, he's got a foot on my dick. No. You big sploot monster, look at you. Booty. I like to do this sometimes, so I just stretch him out and just be like, booty. Booty. He just sits there and just accepts it. He's just like, meh. He just stretches away from me. He just accepts so much shenanigans for me. It's so ridiculous. I'll even kind of like roughhouse with him like that, even at the bar sometimes, and people are like, "Oh," it's like, "Oh my goodness, he's so cute, ridiculous. I could tell that he loves you so much. Oh my goodness." Dude, this dog, honestly, just in himself, is a Riz King. He's just straight up a Rizzler. It's not even me. It's like him. Like, any chick or like any dude or anybody that just comes up to me, not half the time, but at least like 45% of the time, it's always like, "Can I pet your dog? Oh my God, he's so cute." I mean, but if it's of chicks, then it's more like 65 to 70% of the time. Because they all want to like be like, "Oh my God, he's so adorable. Can I pet him?" It's like, oh my God, fuck. It's like, yes, of course. I don't think it was like, some shit like, YouTube being weird. I thought it was there for a minute, but I think it might just be a cell tower in the area that rebooted. Because I know it does that every now and then. So, whatever. What are you going to do, right? At least I know, at least in this case, it's out of my control. It's just one of those things where I think, hey, if cell tower reboots and needs to do its thing for a second, I think this is what ends up happening. So, whatever. At least things are fine now. Yeah, our face is like 240p. It's 240p? Well, it's at 4 bars now, so everything should be fine for all intents and purposes at this point. So, I mean, if it's a little weird like that, I mean, maybe it'll auto-adjust at some point. I have no idea. But hey, at least I'm here still. So hey, that's all that really matters. So whatever. If I look like a Minecraft character, then who cares? Siren Head is something one of the cell towers. Yeah, dude, Siren Head is like, found a cell tower. It's like, damn, girl, you look fine. And starting to fuck it. And she had a on. God damn it. Okay. Well, you know what? It's like, wait a minute. Because, it's a little finicky right now, I guess, but whatever. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's like a cell tower thing, because, hey, phone bill's paid, and I don't have to worry about that for like another 20 days anyway. I mean, so it ain't that. And it ain't my phone, because, hey, like pretty much the only other app that's running in the background is Instagram. And yeah, pretty much. It's basically just a fucking cell bars. I guess it's not completely full. There is like a slight like 1 bar decrease, but I guess that might, explain some of that a little bit, but whatever. I mean, hey, if it's a little... Dude, can you live stream with a VHS cam? Can you live stream with a VHS cam? maybe I should. Jesus fucking Christ. This is actually genuinely driving me a little nuts. Like, what the fuck? Fucking Christ, man. I even paused the song just to be like, maybe that would help. Maybe it did. I don't fucking know. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. This is definitely a little ridiculous. Because there's even more. You can play back for a sec. Well, all right. I'm saying this really quick. I'm just gonna restart my phone real quick. I'll just wrap this stream up. We'll start another one and restart the phone. See if that fucking works. Because Jesus Christ, this is kind of driving me nuts. Maybe I just need to do the reboot use of the phone and let it kind of like sync back, to the service because it is at full bars at this point. So there should be no excuse for this. So anyway, I'll just wrap this one really quick. I'm not really done, so I'm gonna start another stream, and all that shit. So. This definitely is frustrating, but whatever. We'll throw the punches and go with it and go from there. So give it like 5-10 minutes at the maximum, and we'll be around here again. So it's blurring so much it's making you look like a victim of the ring tape. Well, like I said, I'm gonna restart my phone, see if that helps, and all that shit. We'll do another stream. Go from there. Anyway, but, just give it like 5 minutes, 10 at the most. We'll go from there. Anyway, yeah, because this is fucking annoying. Because I don't want to wrap it up yet. I'm not done. I still want to chill and talk shit and stuff like that and blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, I guess there will be a part 2 technically for tonight. So, here, just give it a little bit. Just give it a moment.